hero story. Here we go. May need a quick layout fix for that, but this is with our very own Emerldd. What's up, Em? How you doing? Good luck on this run.
Thank you. I'm doing well. I'm excited to show off Hero Story for you guys. This run has a lot of stuff going on, like the entire time. All right, so Don, you traditionally do the countdowns. I feel like you're the best at counting down. Why don't you go ahead and then I'll start.
All right, sounds good. In 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck.
Thank you. All right, so we're going to be starting out here in City Escape. Now, this game has 3 different play styles that you're going to notice throughout the run. We're starting out here with the speed character. We're in a boarding section, though, which is pretty unique. There's only 2 of these in the game. All we're going to be really trying to do here is just get awesome tricks off of these ramps so that we can keep our speed and kind of build it up, actually, as we go downhill. If we bump into anything, we lose all that speed, which is kind of bad, but it's already over. And right away, we're going to actually get into a trick called City Escape Skip.
Yeah, so we used to do this funky setup where you go around the dash pads, because dash pads actually make you slower, believe it or not. But M's going to be charging a spin dash and then tricking off a ramp right after. There you go. Let's see.
Hey.
Hitting the dash pad out of bounds, and we're going to fly. You can't see it because of this weird camera, but there's a very conveniently placed hallway that's going to lead us right to the truck chase.
I'm glad to hit that first try. I'm always a little bit worried about that in a race or like a marathon or anything like that. But now we can talk a little bit more about speed characters. You'll notice I'm rolling downhill on these slopes, and that's because Sonic, when he's in ball form and going downhill, he can actually go faster than his top speed running. So ideally, we want to be spin dashing downhill as much as possible throughout the run. And I'm not going to be too upset about a 120 start. That's pretty solid. So now we're in our first boss fight with Sonic again. This is Bigfoot. Pretty standard fight. In fact, this fight can be done frame perfectly. I will not be able to do it frame perfectly because I'm really bad at this first jump. But what we're going to do is we're going to jump on the box and hit him before he even starts moving. And if we hit him, the frame that he becomes vulnerable, he actually will stay in place and he won't move back. And we just beat up on him like that. If you notice, I do a somersault onto the box each time, and that's because it's the fastest way to get forward momentum with Sonic. Otherwise, he'll just like kind of run in place on the ground. So that's how we make that fast.
But next we're going to be heading into Wild Canyon, the first treasure hunting stage with Knuckles, my favorite guy. You got to find 3 pieces of the Master Emerald. This stage is usually going to be one of the ones where you'll find a free piece. As you can see, you saw some statics earlier. In that game, your radar is available for all 3 slots. M is actually going to be looking here because, and he actually found a free piece like I was talking about. Since the radar slot's not going off, we look for some pieces because they still are there, right? They're just not pinging. But M didn't want to go all the way down and then all the way back up, so he looked for a free piece there.
We move on. We actually go now into our first time playing Tails, the mech category of characters in this game. And this fight is really straightforward because all I'm going to do is point forward and just spam the B button. Because Eggman's just going to continue to walk into me. His AI is not very smart. You can see he tries to step to the side, but we can kind of lead our shots there. It just kind of depends on how good you are at mashing to the rhythm for his tap shoots. But now we're going to get into Tails' actual first level, Prison Lane, which is actually one of the more difficult mech levels in the game. And it's the first Tails level. It's pretty difficult because of how mech works. We have these like hallways with like walls and stuff, and we're trying to like not bump into them because anytime Tails bumps up against them, it slows him down. And we want to be keeping our momentum as much as possible because otherwise Tails loses a lot of speed super quick. Any turn as well that is greater than 45 degrees, we do a little bit of a hop. And that's to conserve more of that speed because if you turn on the ground, he'll drop his speed quickly as well. So I did a little hop there. Now we just get to chill on the elevator because there's no way to skip this part.
You know, if you want to find a massive skip in this game, there it is. Figure that out.
Yeah, figure out how to launch Tails.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy.
You'll notice that I am shooting enemies through walls. In fact, I actually did it on that elevator there to lower a gate, or rather raise a gate, before I even got to it, so I don't have to wait. But a lot of this is just being really particular about timing your shots, jumping off elevators early when you can, like that. These guys are going to jump turn to lock onto an enemy that'll break the gate here. Shoot the enemies through the wall here. Kind of wait there for a second to stall.
Yeah, and you might not have even noticed it there. Oh no, that happens. But yeah, there's this beetle right above the entrance to that room that actually locks you out of this final area. You can just jump and shoot him through the wall. It saves so much time. That's like
yeah.
even something you could do in casual play. That if you want to just not deal with that room, you can just jump and hold the B button. That's all you got to do.
All right, so now we're in Metal Harbor. You're going to notice right away that we're going to be skipping a lot of sections by just going through the floor. Because the floor on all the, like, the floor is solid if you're standing on top of it, but from the underside, it's not.
Yeah, Metal Harbor is a really cool stage. There's a lot going on, but it's really scary because pretty much the entire bottom there, all of that water, you know, that is scary for a hedgehog that can't swim. When you go for these big tricks out of bounds over here, fully skip, great job, Ben. If you mess up at all, you're just falling straight into a giant kill plane. So it can be a scary stage, even though it's a little bit... It's not the hardest in the game by any means, but it's scary for sure.
Yeah, lots of opportunities to die all over the place. But that was not too bad, pretty solid. Here's our other boarding section before we never see it again.
Yep, last time you'll ever see this. Nice mechanic. And another 120. Very nice Sonic so far. We are absolutely gaming, but we do have an amazing cutscene coming up here. This is the best.
And of course, the scene, luckily for the speedrun, is unskippable.
Can we get fakers and chat, please?
All right, so we are heading into one of my favorite stages, but it's definitely one of the hardest stages in this entire game. This whole thing, it basically just breaks down to wall run after wall run after wall run, all varying in difficulty. The very first one coming up here, found by our good friend Taco Air Yeezy. This one's super sick. You run on an invisible wall. You like dismount the vine, get on an invisible wall, and skip to the top route. Super sick. This is one of my favorite tricks in the game, honestly.
Yeah, you got most green forest. I gotta focus.
Yeah, definitely. This stage is hard, so I'm gonna be yapping. We got a nice little loop skip here. I would say this wall run is probably the easiest one, but it's still so easy to go wrong. And then we have the big one coming up here, so I'm just gonna focus on that. Green Forest wall run, one of the hardest tricks in the entire run. What M's gonna try to do is touch the back of the loop, and the loop properties is gonna send him flying towards the tree. And if he gets it right, he can make it and skip this entire tree run section up here. Let's see. Perfect. Let's go. That trick is known as TAS run because it was first conceived watching the TAS, which is how you know a trick is stupid.
Yeah, absolutely. That trick is so hard. All right, let's see if I get Air Jordan. Do I go for it? Oh, nope, never mind.
Nope.
Wow, still 116? Dude.
That's insane.
That's a really good time.
All right, you're actually cooking with this Sonic right now. This is
know.
insane.
All right, so now we're getting into kind of a more, this is a less technical hunting stage. It's very open. There's a lot of gliding. Not a lot of really specifically fast movement, but it's kind of more so just trying to get to the pieces as fast as we can. We're going to get this upgrade here. 3 Skull Brothers, though, is a good piece. It would be really funny if it was there. There's a free piece you can see kind of early.
Yeah, it's one of the only free pieces.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait. This
check
one.
that one. Yeah. Wow, this is a banger set. No matter what this piece is, it could be King of the Hill and it's still good.
Whoa.
Very good.
This run's really good so far, honestly.
Yeah, the only bad part is like the Wild Canyon, but RNG just made up for it here. Wow.
Dude, let's go. An average time you could like maybe get for this stage is like a 7:38, I would say. Like that's like what you, like an average. You could get like a lot better than that or a lot worse than that. So low 30, very good. All right, Mission Street. Now this is more seen as kind of an auto scroller stage. However, there is kind of things that can go wrong. We get a new upgrade that gives us access to a new kind of speedrunning tech called pause hovering. And we're gonna wait in the upgrade. So one of the things that we haven't talked about in this is that we're doing the timer on screen as RTA, but we actually time this on loadless timing. And one of the things that we do not count is the time sitting in the upgrades because the timer's not going, but also we are sitting in that upgrade actually moves forward a cycle that's later in the stage for the platforms that we're going to be trying to meet here as quickly as we can. And that's known as zero cycle.
I guess he could have just changed it to first cycle and rewrote history, but I think it's funnier this way.
Yeah, and this is the platform, by the way. So we've met the cycle, and now we're just going to cruise on to the end. Very easy watch. Wow, dude. This is 9:24 going into Aquatic Mine. This is actually kind of nuts for a marathon run.
Yeah. Heading into my favorite stage in the game, Aquatic Mine. This feels like a test stage for Knuckles. Like, you can just do everything cool that Knuckles does in this stage. It's just a playground for him, honestly, with this version of Knuckles.
Yeah, we'll see if we get to show off some of that. Some of the sets actually don't allow us to show off some of the cooler stuff, but we'll see what we get. We're looking for a free piece in the cutscene. There's one. I don't really
That's
like this
much...
one, but you know,
yeah,
it's there.
So,
I know it's there.
You usually like the free pieces being the pieces that are like piece 2 or piece 3, which there's a ton of them in this stage. This is one of the only ones that's actually a piece 1, so it's kind of scary, but this is a nice combo so far. Almost anything from here is pretty fast. Fun.
Hey, how much time do we have until the...
It's like now.
It's like now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so this is the kart racing stage. The main goal here is actually there's like a point system for rings. We're trying to get 20 points. Each ring is 1 point. Every time we get 20 points, we get to use a boost, and we have like a pretty optimal route as far as trying to time it for when we go uphill and downhill. You're going to be noticing that I'm snaking here, and that helps us maintain our max speed. Shout out to the people saying wait in chat. What was that bounce? Did you see that?
I didn't know the cart could jump.
That scared me. I thought I was about to clip through.
Maybe, okay, how about this? After the run...
Oh, he did it! Okay, it's actually not that bad.
It's a donation for that.
Oh, he turned around. Oh, no,
yeah,
that was a
Tails
tease.
Listened.
That was a tease.
Tail said no.
Tails said we didn't hit the donation.
AbleGamers first.
Yeah,
that's true.
First.
Going into a pretty difficult stage now. We didn't really get to explain pause buffering, but I'm going to be doing it like kind of right at the start here. Essentially what it is the pause helps us put 2 A presses really close together. So basically the frame after I jump, I'm trying to do a hover input to get more height than is intended from like a normal jump or a hover. And that allows us to do some pretty neat skips. I'm going to try to see if I can actually hit a pretty difficult one called pole hop here.
Yeah, this one requires, I believe it's frame perfect, or it's definitely near frame perfect. And you also have to have a very, it's not pixel perfect, but you have to have a nice position too. Yeah, see, that was like maybe like a 2-frame jump. It's pretty tough to get, especially with how fast M pauses. This one, very similar to Metal Harbor, where you have a giant death pit beneath you, like the entire stage. But we just send it because, you know, we gotta go fast.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a pretty solid hidden base so far. Like, really the only mistake is just the missed pole hop on the first try, but I was able to back it up very nice.
Getting the checkpoint for safety there, too. I was just to be sure.
Yeah, it only loses like maybe a tenth at most to get that checkpoint, but it's really bad. Like, this is the only other checkpoint that you'll really hit right here, so it's kind of scary if you don't get that one. That's the marathon safety check for sure.
Yeah, one of the things also that you'll notice, these walls actually we have to kind of break like at a rhythm or on a rhythm or however you want to say that, because they actually have invincibility frames while they're doing the animation of becoming like cracked. So we have to like kind of like tap it at a certain pace to make sure that we can break them fast, and also as we're meeting up like towards the wall to get through it quickly.
All right.
The next most difficult speed stage, yeah. Yeah, so we already had Green Forest. M popped off in that one. Let's see if we can get a pop-off in Pyramid Cave. This would be the combined Sonic of all time. These tunnels are deceptively hard because you have to basically figure out where the downhill is in each spot. It's kind of crazy. And then another thing here, you get a mock bounce here. It's kind of a slope, so it like sends you up. I don't know why, but next to Chow Boxes, they put some really interesting collision. And now we're going to get the most broken upgrade in the game, the Bounce Bracelet. Immediately you see some tech demos of that with a Super Bounce. Basically just a lot of speed converted into vertical momentum. And going to be able to go to a lot of places that, again, they did not go to any collision for. And again, just like Stadex, walls don't exist. It's a recurring theme in these early adventure games. And going for the vibe check and passing the vibe check, dude. Let's go. We want to avoid the speed pads in these downhill slopes because they actually set your speed, meaning they slow you down. Whoa.
That was actually really fast. And one more really broken thing here that the Bounce Bracelet does outside of the Super Bounces is these skewed gravity tricks like Snake Skip. You'll see another one here if M goes for it on this last loop. But basically, it sends Sonic down whatever version of down Sonic has, which there is actually sideways. A 128 for M. So this is, you know, in the theme of desert, you have all the hardest stages for each character. This is like one of the most complicated stages in any Sonic game ever. There has been like research papers of knowledge done on this one stage. And a lot of that result is something you're going to see here, where M is actually going to take an intentional death to respawn back to the red room, because a lot of the piece 2s that spawn are actually in the red room. So let's just teleport back there, reroll our piece, and there it is. I wasn't 100%, so I didn't want to call it out, but there you go. So yeah, there's a lot of places you can clip out of bounds in this stage, as you can see. M has demonstrated a few of them. This place is also just a playground for Knuckles in this game.
Haha. All right, King Boom Boo. So we actually do a strat here where we're gonna run into him at the start, intentionally take damage, which is called cat boost, and you'll notice it's gonna shoot me forward, and then we're gonna beat him in one cycle if everything goes well. We do this, bait the bite, so he throws the fireball faster, dig here, run around the circle, hit the ghost. Oh, man.
That's crazy. Wow, that was so close.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it didn't hit. Like, he must have lost his damage hitbox, like, right when you're punching.
Yeah. Just probably barely out of the range. That's all right. This one looks better.
It's a tough one. There you go. Yeah, that's pretty ideal.
And so,
yeah, this one's pretty crazy. You gotta hold, like, a pretty precise angle. But if you actually take, like, a slightly better line than King Boom Boo, Knuckles is, like, basically the same speed, so you just take a better line and you can catch up to him. And one cycle, let's go.
There we go. You can talk about this. I'm just gonna do it.
So bounce bracelet really broken again. You remember the super bounce? Yeah, these are the hardest ones. You see that tiny little ledge? You have like a frame or two to jump and bounce. You have to hit both inputs. So release B, hit A, and then B again. All in the time that you spin dash to that ledge. And 3 out of 4. Let's go, Ed. That was huge.
The greed?
And he's going to go for a greed bounce? All right, yeah.
I had time for the greed, though, because I have to wait for him to do this, the head slam attack.
Yeah, then these last 2 hits are relatively consistent. I'm going to go for the fast one. Oh!
Just for
Sonic's
style.
doing tricks on it.
Just for style, you know.
Yeah. That was like...
Egg Golem pulls his head up faster than Sonic's homing attack can track him down, so it just kind of like followed him all the way back up. All right, so now we're in Eternal Engine. This is a really big skip. This is the actual name of it. I'm not trying to bait you guys. The name is Bofa, and it's because we use Bofa to boxes to clip out of bounds. Oh, no, it's fine. I get to redo it.
We could try it again.
Check it out. Uh-oh.
Oh!
That should not have worked, but you know what? Hey, we take those.
No.
We take those. So first try of this trick is more difficult on first load because of how the objects load in. It's the order of which they load in. Yeah, but not even have to worry about dying and reattempting it because we got a first try. Pretty nice. And yeah, that was the last Tails stage. Well, he'll still have a boss fight coming up, but now we have a Meteor Herd, the last Knuckles stage. This is kind of another scenario of where pieces are really spread out, but the recent developments for the game have like where people are using like spreadsheets to be able to like see sets have made this a lot better and made it more consistent for times. I do not use the spreadsheet. I'm not on that wave yet, but maybe someday. We're getting a piece in the middle here to start. Let's see where... Ooh, top.
I'm sorry. Apparently my audio went crazy.
Oh. I guess I checked this. Oh, what a tough set. Yeah, getting middle, top, bottom. It's not the worst spread you can get, but it's a pretty like tough one. 52 seconds is not ideal. RNG kind of biting me in the butt this run, but otherwise still pretty good. All right, so we're into the Knuckles fight, or sorry, the Rouge fight as Knuckles. And what we're gonna do is as soon as the name disappears, I'm just gonna glide forward while neutral sticking. And then hit her before she can move. And then after she does that kick, we can just kind of spam drill dive here. And she won't be able to move, and then it makes the fight really consistent.
All right, we got some very big skips coming up. This is going to allow us to pretty much skip the entirety of both of the stages remaining for Sonic here.
We're going to be setting up with like a changed gravity after hitting a switch, and we're going to be weaving ourselves through 2 kill planes to try to then fly to the end of the stage.
Yeah, welcome to the worst checkpoint in the game. This thing has terrible collision, and it actually worked.
Yeah, I kind of time it so that I charge my spin dash as I'm going through it, so he has to like sit there for a while, you know?
Right.
Ah, too fast.
Yeah, so basically what we're doing here is we're making it so that Sonic has to basically weave back up and then back down again to weave through a couple kill planes, while also keeping enough speed that you can actually make it to the end, because distance becomes an issue. And there you go. M's out of bounds. We just have to hit the goal ring.
Yeah, from here with this setup where we have free cam where we can like see where we're going, it's pretty simple. We can like kind of adjust as we need to. And it really like simplifies the trick. The way that I set up the camera to be like that is by doing that long spin dash jump from hitting the gravity switch before I did the trick. We actually skip over a camera trigger and it allows us to like actually like keep that camera behind Sonic as we're doing it. It's really, really nice.
People used to do that trick with the camera facing Sonic, like from the front, so you couldn't see where you were going at all.
Yeah, it's tough. It's technically still faster to do that because then you avoid having to do the setup, but anyways, Eggman 2. This fight is actually, there's two main methods of doing this fight. It is pretty, like, as long as you do them correctly, this fight goes well, but it's very easy to mess up. Getting a 14, very solid gaming.
Like I mentioned, both of the stages we have left, we have a full stage skip coming up, so final rush skip. This one's really cool. Also utilizes how broken the bounce bracelet is.
Yeah. Give me a sec. Oh, especially now. Oh.
All right.
Well, for fun.
Fast afar?
I'll try fast afar just because.
Let's do it.
We're going to shoot ourselves through a kill plane and hope we make it through, which will be really funny. Oh, that was really close.
It was actually really good timing.
Really
yeah,
good
that used to be the only skip that they knew about. Somehow they found the one where you go through the kill plane before this one. Oh. And that's how I lost my first 21.
There is a gap there in this platform, and if you bounce at just the wrong time, you'll just go through it. 3, 4, 5, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. All right, we're good.
Yeah, that kill plane goes really far out. So not only we need to use skewed gravity to go to the side and then fall farther. But the stage is so vertical, you can still make it back to the stage just in time.
I think well, you can do it bounceless, but like we have enough speed that we're able to maintain the skewed gravity as well. It's a multi-layered trick, but actually it's technically not over, even though it is. Like there is a kill plane here that can still get us, but I'm just gonna veer to the right here to avoid it.
Yeah, just gonna skim past it there. And for anyone learning the skip, please just stay in bounce. I promise. This collision doesn't. Yeah, this collision doesn't mess with you at all if you're in bounce, but if you're not, it will kill you.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, final boss time. Let's go.
Yeah, and this boss fight is not too bad. It's like one of those things that's like it's a pretty easy fight once you understand how it works. However, like playing anything that's even if it's easy at the like end of a run when you're on PB pace can be really stressful.
Very true.
There's a couple of different ways of doing this, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna veer off to the right here, which is gonna make the homing attack actually snap back in. And I'm gonna time my homing attacks with when Shadow homing attacks before he hits the ground.
And time's coming up.
Time.
GG.
GG, yeah. Not a bad run.
Big run. 35 is very nice in RTA.
Thank you. Yeah, and it was a 24:01 loadless. Very solid. Honestly, the real main things holding this run back was just getting unlucky and then like a couple of flubs here and there. But dude, it started out so good.
Definitely.
That was like borderline PV pace run. So can't ask for more there. So that was Hero Story. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're not done with Sonic Adventure 2 yet. We still have 2 great runs coming up, that being Dark Story and Last Story. If you guys enjoyed the run, first off, follow Wagers because he put a lot of effort into hosting this event. So shout outs to Wagers. Please make sure you donate to AbleGamers if you can. Of course, it would help out a lot. Want to see more SA2? I play this game a lot. I play a lot of Sonic games. Emerldd, it's spelled goofy, but it's in the title if you want to check that out. And Dawn, you want to talk about your stuff? I know you've been kind of talking about it with the last run and stuff too, but might as well double down, dude.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a chance to shout out something else real quick though. If you like Sonic events, go follow Sacer events, especially if you like SA2. They're doing a Dark Story tournament literally in this upcoming month. They're amazing. It's SAESR_events. It's the Adventure Era community. They have events going on like I swear it's every week.
Yeah,
incredibly passionate and talented crew over there. Definitely go check them out. They're amazing.
All right, and absolutely, thank you again for having us. And enjoy Dark Story. That's coming up next, I believe.